What would you say if I told you you have the power to make me appear live at the scene of the video I'm responding to? More on that later. I've been waiting 20 years to do that joke!
Hammer time!
Good morning, the worm, your honour. Detective man say down and me snow me stab someone down the lane. A leaky bum down. Alright, seriously though, shit's going down in Australia right now. Well, a couple of days ago. The University of Sydney held a screening of our favourite documentary, The Red Pill. And as is customary in Australia, fuck knows why Australia of all places, this kind of thing happened. This is titanically repetitive, folks. I know that's the point of a chant, but they do it non-stop for at least 13 minutes. I'm actually impressed at the respiratory tenacity of it all. That rules out the sarcoidosis. It's probably lupus again. Maybe if I played at double speed, that'll give you some impression of what I'm dealing with. And maybe if I play it at quadruple speed, it'll start to sound like music again. I will respond to an obnoxious noise with an even more obnoxious noise. But I will respond to a point with a point. Do you have any?
Hi everyone, my name's Kate Corbin and I'm one of the co-women's officers at the University of Sydney.
Hi, I'm Dr. fucking Randabakam, tall, dark, sinister Grand Vizier of the proud nation of Kakistan. Pleased to meet you out. What might you have to say about the Red Pill?
What's interesting about this screening is some people try to paint it as like a feminist thing, although it's done from a feminist perspective.
It was done from a feminist perspective at the beginning of the project. But by the end of the movie, the perspective was widened.
Now, what I think about feminism isn't an identity, it's an action.
But the dictionary says it's a noun. Are we not going by dictionary definitions in this particular cognitive microsecond?
And if your actions target women's bathrooms, with your very expensive stickers, mind you, they spend a lot of money on the promotion of this film. They also have to spend a lot of money to hire out the room for those big, very nice posters, very big stickers.
Focus, my darling, please. You're speaking in public right now.
That's plastered over the women's bathroom.
Shouting shame is just a thing now, by the way. Applause? No, sir. No clapping your hands. That triggers people. But shouting shame, that's just unavoidable.
And also, they had to pay for the film rights. Now, I see that they wanted to put proceeds towards prostate cancer research. That's a very noble pursuit. I asked them, why did you spend so money towards prostate cancer research.
Because the proceeds from the promotions are going towards Did you not just... Click.
I talked to a couple of the people around the place who are here to support the film, and they note some interesting statistics, such as that men are more likely to die in battlefronts, and men are more likely to die at workplaces. And I ask, is feminism the one that's killing these men?
I wouldn't say that. I think it's unhelpful and reductive to say that a belief system alone can kill people. Oh, wait, feminism is not a belief system, it's an action, and actions can indeed kill people. I'm confused already. Why, what do you think is the one that's killing these men?
Is feminism the one that's killing these men?
Okay, so patriarchy is a noun that kills people, and feminism is an action that doesn't kill people. It's really hard to draw a comparison here. It's like patriarchy is gravity and feminism is Reiki healing?
Is it perhaps a military capitalist industrial complex that is sending men?
They just cheered like vapidly at the mere mention of the term military industrial complex. I know those words. Woo! Pee-wee's Playhouse wasn't just a trip; it was a premonition.
For wars that they shouldn't be fighting in the first place.
Then maybe we shouldn't give the vote to people who have no obligation to fight. Because that's a surefire way to start as many fights as possible. Unless the people to whom you give a vote but no draft act extremely responsibly.
Is it perhaps the fact that predominantly white, bourgeois women have been unable to attain the right of work?
No, you lying troll. Women have had the opportunity to go into any line of work they desire for as long as any of you and any of your grandparents can remember. And women have shown a great deal of interest in administration positions in air-conditioned offices. Hegemonically air-conditioned offices. But they just haven't got around to mastering the outdoor jobs with the industrial diseases and whatnot. It's because the patriarchy's holding them back, you see. The patriarchy would rather the men die. Feminism doesn't want anyone to die. It just wants to crush the patriarchy. The patriarchy doesn't mean men, it means things that benefit men. And feminism doesn't mean women, it means things that benefit women. Everyone. It means things that benefit everyone equally. Action. It's an action that benefits everyone equally. By crushing the things that benefit men. How long can they keep doing this?
Now I say white bourgeois women, because women of colour and working class women have had to fight for their survival through paid and unpaid
There's stuff going on up there too.
For millennia.
What it is.
Did you see the pattern there? It's hard to miss it. It played out much faster than it normally does. Men are not victims. No kind of man is a victim. Rich white women are victims. By the way, those women over there are also victims. Blah, 10 points to me. You're supposed to put at least 2 minutes of filibustering in between each wormhole. But she's just gone, men are victims. Whoop, no, I am. Whoop, and them. Whoop. Look at me, everyone.
I ask if the people inside this room, from the Libertarian Society, from Grosock, from the Conservatives, the Liberals.
Fuck the libs! Fuck the libs!
I think liberalism and feminism are now officially incompatible, folks. The ties have been cut. The daydream is over. And your friends collection reckons they're changing the number. Feminism is not interested in liberty. Feminism is an action that doesn't kill people, but doesn't liberate them either. Still Reiki healing.
If they were so interested in combating gender inequality. Why have they never reached out to the Women's Collective?
Creative control, my dear. I'm not sure who you mean by they at this point, but whoever they are, there's a good chance they believe in the arcane principle of artists and exhibitioners having creative control over their products. And I don't know which women's collective you're talking about, but there's a good chance they don't quite share that principle. Cassie J had the option of getting funded by feminist organisations. They could afford it with their loose change. But do you think if the Red Pill was funded by feminists, it would be the same film with the same message? No, not on any buggers, Nelly. It would be yet another hit piece on the very concept of men's human rights. We can all learn from Cassie J. Everyone in Hollywood, from top to bottom, you have a vision. Do not surrender it. And give no quarter to those who would have you surrender it. You can learn, you can grow, you can get better, you compromise your teamwork ethic according to your team, but there is something in there that's all yours. Just yours. Come hell or high water, it will see the light of day. Chatelet.
A lot of men can't speak up when they're sexually assaulted. A lot of women can't speak up when they're sexually assaulted.
Whoop.
What about the men experiencing the...
Ooh, a dialogue.
What about the men experiencing the...
Never mind.
The interesting thing about men who experience domestic violence is perhaps that they're not dying at a rate of more than one a week in our country.
Is men's rights the one that's killing these women? Oh shit, let me guess. Yes, it is! Men's rights is also an action. It's a violent action against women. Or am I thinking of the patriarchy? Then why aren't you protesting that movie about the patriarchy?
When you're elected by the Women's Collective to be Women's Officer, I'll let you ask some questions. Now,
I know I said that thing about not surrendering your vision just now, but I also said that thing about teamwork, didn't I? You're not trying to direct a movie, madam. You're in a university. It's a place where we learn to dialogue. It's where lectures become seminars and the audience is allowed to participate. Especially if you're in a position that was voted into power, the least you can do is let one of your voters ask a question. Unless or until they've personally defeated you in the next election. No? All right. Okay, audience, give me a shame. Now give me a double shame. Now give me a half shame.
Shame.
Sorry for the pause. I was laughing quite hard there for longer than it appears. All right, we've got another two speakers after this. So we summarize your speech, and we'll crack on with the ceremony.
so I say today, let's prioritise those who are most affected by gender inequality and put our time, energy and resources, such as expensive A3 stickers.
Fucking hell.
You've done so well. Yes, they are chanting "Break the silence on sexual violence" while they protest the screening of a film about... all right, no spoilers.
It's actually that it's the people at the top of society, the people that are in control of society, the people that have the most power in this society are the ones that are the most racist, most sexist, and the most bigoted.
What if the most successful people are actually the most cooperative people? What if the most prosperous countries are the most cooperative countries? Now, a lot of people think the problem with communism is it doesn't take human nature into account, but it does. It just has a morbidly pessimistic opinion of human nature, and it insists everyone else does too.
You just have to look at the recent election of the President of the United States to get an idea of that. But Donald Trump, this guy who wants to say that he wants to grab pussy and yeah.
Level with me. Were they this bad in the 80s as well? Was it just, hey, that Reagan, he's what an idiot. Hey, wow. He said, oh man, he said a thing. I tell you, what a stupid thing. I can't remember what it was he said, but it was an awful thing. What? Oh, what an idiot that Reagan is. Raw. Do people just say shit like that and no one called them out on how pointless and cringy it is? Because they were all too busy hollering in agreement. Yeah, I agree. I'm smarter than the president as well. We all are. Come on, everyone, let's feel smarter than the president. Was it the same over here? Was it just Thatcher? Grr. Yeah, grr, Thatcher. Anything about her in particular? Nah, just grr. She said a thing, I think, and it was grr. Ah. Was that all it was? For 10 fucking years. And we've just been sugarcoating the memory of it layer by layer. Well, I hope we have another alternative comedy wave like in the 80s. Fellow liberal commentators. Let's go back to toilet humour. We were good at that. Never mind. Who's this guy? He looks like the patriarchy.
Everywhere you look in our society, women are systematically oppressed. Everywhere you look.
Sounds like the patriarchy.
The gender pay gap in this country is at 19% for full-time workers, full-time women versus full-time men. If you take all women of working age and all men of working age, it's more like 35% or a 40% pay gap. Outrageous.
I can certainly entertain the idea that women should earn their fair share of the capital, but I don't think shaming them into it is the way to go. Because that's what you must be doing there. I think a good way to go might be making the workplace an inviting environment. Watch this. Hey ladies, not every business and industry on the face of the planet is a cigar-chomping cabal of misogynist criminals. It is illegal to pay you less for the same work. And at this point, it's a sackable offence to even think about glancing at your tits.
We have a government who just announced with its budget that it will cut $3 billion out of the welfare state.
You know who invented the welfare state? Let's not get into it.
That's $3 billion less for single mothers, for women with disabilities, for carers of people with disabilities who are normally women.
Is that what the average $3 billion welfare dollars are spent on? Women, and normally women. Whose point do you think you're proving, fella?
And these people, they don't care about anyone. This film is not about raising awareness about anything. It's about the fact that Donald Trump's in the White House.
What?
This film is not about raising awareness about anything. It's about the fact that Donald Trump's in the White House, Le Pen was in the second round, Pauline Hanson's on our news, and they want to capitalise on that. That's true.
Cassie, you clever bastard. How did you know all of this 3 years ago?
They don't care the contents of this film. They're not, they can't be persuaded. They can't be rationalised with these people.
There's at least one woman in the crowd who's ready to be rationalised with.
What about the men experiencing domestic
They can't be persuaded. They can't be rationalised with these people.
When you're elected by the women's collective to be women's officer, I'll let you ask some questions. Now,
they can't be persuaded. They can't be rationalised with these people. The whole point of screening this film is to try and create more organised alt-right forces on this campus. And as the left, we have to show them that people on this campus do not support alt-right ideas. We will not allow them to go unchallenged when they air this filth here.
So, are you going to let that go unchallenged? It appears you have some witch hunters in your vicinity, Sydney. Incompetent liars who buzz around in very noisy swarms trying to terrify and intimidate everyone into silence. And who hunts the witch hunters? We do. The International Conference on Men's Issues 2017 is on the Gold Coast, Queensland, Australia, from the 9th of June to the 11th. That's in about 4 weeks. I intend to be there. And if we raise enough funds, we can also get as far as Sydney. Maybe Melbourne as well. Australia's fucking huge. But we're going to see if we can at least do a sort of brief tour down the East Coast. As much as we can with the funding we get, basically. This is a thing that will very rarely happen, if ever again. So, if you'd like it to happen, if you'd be disappointed to see it not happen, you can help it happen by throwing a shekel or 3 into the hat.
Where are we putting our money?
I'm glad you asked. www.feedthebadger.com. See description for links and things. Maybe you're an Aussie and you'd like to come see us in person, or maybe you're a viewer and you'd like to subject the honey badgers and me to an island of hideously venomous serpents for a week or 2. Really test that reputation the honey badger has. Every deadly toxin you've got, balls, I'll swallow it and run a mile. I might even try this Bundaberg rum of yours. In reality, we're very probably not going to end up anywhere near the University of Sydney, let alone causing any trouble. I'll probably spend a lot of time hiding behind a puppet. Yes, I'll bring the codger. But, I had to pick a relevant video to respond to, something that expresses the urgency of the situation. And this is pretty urgent. If you're disrupting other people's educations because of your myriad misunderstandings about men's rights advocates, why don't you invite a couple of them into the country and we'll have a chat? We promise we won't bring any frogs. Pepe's just a cartoon. And he's not an alt-right symbol. He's certainly not just an alt-right symbol. No, we're not alt-right either. Next to no one, in reality, has even heard of the alt-right, let alone sympathizes or identifies with it. But we like funny cartoons. Sometimes a cigar is just a cigar, sometimes a cartoon is just a cartoon, and sometimes a men's rights advocate is just a men's rights advocate. Are you ready to have your minds blown, Australia? www.BeTheBadger.com. If all goes to plan, I'll be seeing you shortly, friends. Also VidCon, maybe. Maybe. Alright, play us out, kids.
We're creating a hole here!
No, you need to get out. You need to get out.
No, I don't.
You need to get out.
Word to your mother.
Goodbye, cruel world. I'm leaving you today.